Hey, I thought I'd share with you some thoughts about masks. We're all going to be made to wear masks here in the UK this week. What's that going to do to our breathing? Now, I feel this is a really good opportunity to be collectively focused on our breath. Now, why the breath? The breath is a key fundamental to overall health. So having our breathing inhibited by a mask is a real chance. It's a real chance to collectively breathe and learn how to breathe. So what does the breath do? The breath can be both conscious and unconscious. As we inhale, the heart speeds up. As we exhale, the heart slows down. That is a key to overall health. So having your breathing inhibited by a mask will actually raise the CO2 levels in your blood. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, not if you train for it. Oxygen is one of our primary fuel sources, and we need a balance of CO2 in the body for its vasodilating effect. It opens the blood vessels and the capillaries. So the first for breath, your next breath, your call for the next breath, comes from the build-up of CO2, not the lack of oxygen. Okay? So we breathe in roughly 21% oxygen, we breathe back out 19%, roughly. So, having a mask on will actually raise your CO2 levels. So for those who haven't trained their CO2 tolerance, which you do in yoga or free diving or breath work, some styles of, it may induce a more stress-like effect in the body. How does that work? So, CO2 is released from physical stress, burning the oxygen, and it takes the blood into a slightly more acidic state, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you train for it. Okay? But if you're not unaware of that, if you're just putting a mask on and you're raising your CO2 levels, it will trigger certain settings on your physiological body which will signal that you're in a state of stress. Now, in yoga asana, where we do the postures in yoga, and we keep the breath in and out for a count of 4 to 6. That's a coherent breath. That's a count of 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, to 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, somewhere in between. That smooths your heart rate variability. So if you're breathing a little bit shorter, that tunes you up into sympathetic nervous system response. That's where the blood and the energy is in the muscles to respond to a physical threat. But we can get the same response from a mental threat, an emotional threat, or a social threat. Same body, same breath, same nervous system for the physical, mental, emotional, and social environment as we perceive externally around us and internally as well, to our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations. So, weaving it back to the masks, they're going to be inhibiting our breathing. So this is a perfect time to collectively learn how to breathe. And what would that do? Well, the breath can bring a unity to the diversity of all the systems of your body and all the aspects of your mind. How does it do that? By breathing coherently, you can smooth your heart rate variability, start to sense and feel your brainwave state. So you're, whoa, are you up in beta, 16 to 36 hertz per second, or whoa, are you down in alpha, 16 to 7 pulsations a second, okay? You can also then start to do some really cool things within the body. So breathing through the nose is a really healthy thing to do, It's the beginning of our immune system. So it releases nitric oxide through the paranasal sinuses, and also immune globulin A, if I'm getting that right. By the way, everything I say here is just as right as we know it is at the moment. Might be wrong in a year's time, who knows? It's a good axiom for the meantime. So, breathing through the nose is really healthy. Mouth breathing disfigures the face. It's kind of good. I actually enjoy mouth breathing. It gets a bit charged into the system. But it's kind of like 5th or 6th gear on a car. You don't want to be in 5th or 6th gear all time, all day. It's good to be able to go up there, but then it's good to be able to draw it back down into a steady cruising pace, and back down into 1st. So with the breath, breathing coherently through the nose, you also then get to train your diaphragm strength. So that's pulling the air down into the lower lobes, where you get more perfusion, there's more blood down in the lower lobes of the oxygen. So if you're just breathing up in the top of the lungs, yep, you're breathing, that's good, that's great, but you can breathe differently. maybe fuller. And when you can breathe coherently and connect with all your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations, your emotions within your body, you can also then connect with those around you. We're mammals. We have heart resonance. HeartMath are doing some really amazing science in this at the moment. We also have mirror neurons. That's how we pick up the vibe, the atmosphere, the feel, the sense. And two of the main things for athletic recovery, and I'd say the body recovering at any point, is number one, your mood, and number two, your breath capacity. So it's your VO2 max, your ability to get that primary fuel source of oxygen down to the mitochondria to turn into ATP energy for your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions to be played out into the world. So having an awareness of the breath can actually help your mood by going, all right, okay, I'm feeling a little bit low now. That's okay. I can sit with that. And you know you're not stuck in it. How would you be stuck in it if you were just repeating that breath pattern? But once you're aware of the breath patterns, which are essentially the gears to the nervous system, you can then choose to observe, feel, and then dynamically respond. What do I mean by that? So you can use the breath to rest, elongate the exhale. Inhale 3 seconds, exhale 6 seconds. Maybe build up to 4-8, 5-10, 10-20, maybe 20-40. Surprise yourself. Do that for 5-10 minutes. You'll be in a really restful state. When you're down in parasympathetic response, the systems in the body, they flow, they repair, they integrate. Flow is the key to health of any system. Whether it's a tree, whether it's a pond, financial system, body. When things block and stagnate, that's when we get a dis-ease, a tightness and armoring. Anyways, back to the breath. So you can use it to rest, elongate the exhale. You can use it to refocus in the moment, breathe coherently. Or alternate nostril breathing. Right nostril correlates left hemisphere. Left nostril correlates with oxygenating the right hemisphere. So it's analytical, and that's your connection side, creativity, okay? So it starts to balance out the brain. Do that every day, it will change your life. Crikey. Oh yes, and then you can use the breath to recharge. So it's Monday morning, feeling a little bit hazy, a little bit fuzzy. You can brew your own internal cup of coffee. Wow, that's 5 breaths. I feel a lot more awake already. So, the breath is a tool, a technology. What is a technology? A synthesis of arts. Your body is a piece of art made by nature, and the breath is a tool to bring unity to the diversity of all your systems, all the different parts of the mind, and enjoy life. So, now, as we all get a chance to collectively focus on how we breathe with these masks, let's pivot this meta-crisis into a meta-opportunity for transformation. I believe we can breathe. That sounds really cheesy, but I'm going to leave it in. Bless.